Продовжую роботу медіа.
Ukraine Media Center Ukrinform continues its operation. My name is Svetlana Cheparenko. Today is the 6th of December, the day of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and we would like to congratulate our defenders and thank them for defending our freedom and independence. Now we will be talking about the situation in Kherson region. Joining us online is Oleksandr Tolokonnikov, spokesperson for the Kherson Regional Military Administration. Good afternoon, Mr. Oleksandr. Good afternoon. Mr. Oleksandr, just a day ago the enemy inflicted another strike on the center of the city of Kherson. What are the consequences? Yeah, really, yesterday in the morning around 8:50 the Russians started another shelling, most likely combined shelling using artillery and tanks. They were targeting the center of the city, which resulted in death of 2 people immediately. One of them was a volunteer from a charitable organization and a woman of 39 years. So let's honor their memory. Yet another man got a heavy injury of a limb. The doctors are fighting for his life in the IC unit. Another man was lightly injured, so the number of casualties was 4 plus 2 dead. Also within 2 hours from 9 to 11 there were explosions all around the place. There was a strike near one of the hospitals which resulted in injury of 4 doctors, 1 surgeon, gynecologist, and 2 more nurses. But fortunately, everybody got provided immediate medical aid. In the evening, there was a strike on Blazivska community, which resulted in death of a woman aged 84. There are certain destructions in the areas the Russians were targeting. They were targeting different districts, including Peri East. They were using different types of weapons. They were targeting people. It resulted in death of 3 more people in Peri East district. Well, talking about the humanitarian situation, the winter has come in full, so to say. So what is the situation with critical infrastructure? The heating season is on. 80% of the consumers get heat supply. We continue launching the boiler rooms. 764 out of 1071 apartment blocks are supplied with heat. The work is underway regardless the incessant shelling that really harms the system significantly. In case of any shelling, the utility technicians have to bleed the pressure to repair the system, but still we continue to increase the pace to make sure all the consumers get the heat supply. In those areas where there is no gas supply and the main ways are broken, we continue supplying the timber there. We supplied it to more than 10,000 households thanks to our partners, thanks to the international charitable organizations, humanitarian organizations. We continue supplying all the basic necessities to all the communities. International organizations promise to cover the needs of the 7,500 consumers financially. So we come into this winter better prepared. The people will be warmed better because they have the pellets for their stoves to get heat. So what is the condition of the critical infrastructure and general humanitarian situation in the city and in the region? Can you please repeat your question? I missed the beginning. What is the condition of critical infrastructure and what is the general humanitarian situation in the region and in the city? Well, critical infrastructure, upon the decree of the office of the president, was being prepared from summer. We were constructing the physical protection for the critical infrastructure that helps a lot against the shrapnel damage. There are more than 150 infrastructure facilities that were protected with different types of protection, like sandbags, Heska baskets, and they probably are not something that can save those or protect those facilities from direct hit, but they protect pretty well from the shrapnel damage. There is electricity supplied all over Kherson, just as well as water supply. However, in such districts as Naftogava and Ostrovy Hydropark, unfortunately, we cannot fulfill any works there. Not so many people still reside there, fortunately, because those districts are heavily shelled from the East Bank. It was difficult to work there right upon the detonation of Kakhovka Dam when everything was flooded. And the humanitarian situation in terms of the utility services, gas, electricity supply, heat supply is existent all over Kherson. Yes, it is with interruptions due to the shellings, but we cannot get away from it, and people take it with understanding. Talking about the majority of the smaller towns and villages in the West Bank, 188 settlements get electricity supply. Out of 148, we are unable to reconnect the electricity supply to 30 more because it's very difficult to work there. The Russians shoot right at the power technicians that work there and right to onto the electric infrastructure facilities, so it's impossible to work there. Well, the winter holidays are coming. The people will still try to celebrate no matter the shellings and the constant danger. What is the advice of the local government? Well, the first recommendation is to congratulate our defenders, those who defend and defenders who liberate the new areas. Help our defenders, donate for the drones. That's probably the best present that we can get to bring our victory closer. Talking about the celebrations in the city of Kherson and in the region, there is nothing like that planned, and I don't think anything will be planned like that because it's not so timely, first of all, and then it's just gonna be dangerous because at any time a projectile may hit any place of concentration of people, but I hope we will be celebrating the next year. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions on the floor? Good afternoon, Valentina Rihal, Ukrinform. Do we have any information about the number of children staying in 23 settlements which fall under mandatory evacuation, and is the local government going to expand the list of those villages, and is the local government in touch with the regions where children were evacuated? Maybe there are some problematic issues there that require solution. 651 children were evacuated from those 23 settlements along with their families starting from the 23rd of October. There are 149 more children residing in 8 settlements out of those 23. In 15 of them, there are no more children. In the most dangerous, in Ohinska community, Borislav district, 149 children remain in Kamyshany. There were 190 before. And at Dnipransk near Kherson, the juvenile police keeps working on those issues, and as well as local social services, to convince their families to leave. Meanwhile, we don't impose any force. People seem to be listening to us. Talking about the regions where people move to, we continue being in touch with the regional social protection forces, with the volunteers. More than 100 kids were evacuated to Yaremcha. They're still there. Under the project supported by the First Lady Olena Zelenska, children stay in Bukovel, they study online, they get meals, they get heat. And Yaremcha is a place where children can take some rest, just as well as elder ones. We stay in touch with them if there are any problematic issues arising. Everybody knows the number, the hotline of Kherson Regional Military Administration, 0800 101 102. If anybody has any problems in those territories where they left to and they need some help, we are always ready to support them. Thank you very much, Mr. Oleksandr. Let me remind everybody that we were talking about the situation in Kherson and the region. Ukraine Media Center Ukrinform will be back on air tomorrow. Stay tuned, and thank you for being with us.